Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. We are studying new syllabus mathematics D2. It's chapter number 1, which is direct and inverse proportion. Today we will study lesson number 3. In this we will solve question number 9, 10, 11 and 12 of exercise 1A. First we will discuss some main points of lesson number 2. In that lesson we defined proportion and variation. Hope this concept is clear. Then we define types of proportion. Number 1, direct proportion. Number 2, inverse or indirect proportion, compound variation. Then we defined direct proportion. If two quantities x and y are so related that when x increases or decreases in a given ratio, y also increases in the same ratio, then y is said to vary directly as x. This statement, y is said to vary directly as x, is written in mathematical form as this: y is equal to kx. We use this relation to find the unknown quantities x or y. Then we discussed methods of solving direct variation: unity method, proportion method, arrow method, which is a form of proportion method. These methods you have studied in 5th, 6th and 7th classes. In this in this class we will study the 4th method, which is algebraic method. In algebraic method we write the statement of the question in this algebraic or mathematical form and then we proceed further. Then we discuss the steps for solving questions by algebraic method. There were 4 steps. We write the statement in algebraic form. We put the values of x and y in this relation to find the value of k. Then we use this value of k in equation number 1. We get a statement connecting x and y. Then we put the given value of the variable to find the value of another variable. Now in this lesson we will solve questions of same type, but one addition is there that we have to draw the graph of this relation also. So let's see. This is question number 9, in which you are asked to, for each of the following, y is directly proportional to x. Copy and complete the table. The statement is same: y is directly proportional to x. There are 2 parts, part A and part B. In part A this table is given and you are asked to complete this table. To complete this table means write down the missing values. If for the first 2 values of x the values of y are missing, and for the last 2 columns the value of x are missing, and in this column both the value of x and y are given. So we will use these values to find the value of k first, and then we will use this value and this value of x to find the values of y, and these values of y to find the values of x. Now in this case, because it is given that y is directly proportional to x, so this can be written in mathematical form as y is equal to kx. We will name this as equation number 1. Now because these 2 values are given, we will put these values in this equation. Put x is equal to 24 and y is equal to 6 in this equation. We will get 6 is equal to k24, and the value of k will be equal to 6 over 24, and from here we get 6 from the 6 4s are 24. So the value of k is 1 by 4. We will use this value of k and this value of x in this equation to find the value of y. So when x is equal to 4, this one, the value of y will be equal to, we will put this value here. Now because we are not asked to write a connection or equation connecting x and y, so we do not need to write that. We will simply find the value of y when x is this, and we will use this value of k in this equation number 1. So y is equal to 1 over 4 into 4. The value of x, 4 is cancelled with 4 and we are left with 1. So when x is equal to 4, the value of y is equal to 1. Again, put the value of x equal to 20. When the value of x is equal to 20, y is equal to 1 over 4, the value of k, and the value of x is 20. 4 1s are 4, 4 5s are 20. So the value of y is 5. Now we will find the values of x. We are given the values of y. So when y is equal to 9, we will put this value of y and the value of k in the given equation number 1. From here we will cross multiply 4 and 9 and we will get the value of x, which is equal to 36. And when y is equal to 11, we will put this value of y and the value of k in this equation. 11 is equal to 1 over 4x. This gives you x is equal to 44. Now we have found all the missing values, 2 values of y and 2 values of x. When x is 4, y is 1. When x is 20, y is 5. When x is 30, when y is 9, x is 36, and when y is 11, y is 44. We will put these values in this column, in this table to complete the table. Like this. So after enough practice, you can do this working mentally. After finding the value of k, you can directly find the value of y when x is given and value of x when y is given. Then you need not, because we are at the initial stages, so we have done this working. Better to do working so that you may not commit any mistake. So this is question number 9, its A part. You can solve its B part in the same way. In that question, table is given. You will write the relation like this and you will put the values of x and y which are given to find the value of k, and then you will find the values of y when x is given and value of x when y is given in the same way. Question number 10. If y is directly proportional to x and y is equal to 20 when x is equal to 5, it is same question. That this statement is given, y is directly proportional to x. Since y is directly proportional to x, this statement can be written in algebraic form as y is equal to kx. Now we will put these values of x and y which are given in this equation number 1. 20 is equal to k into 5, and from here the value of k is 4. We will put this value of k in equation number 1 because we are asked to find an equation connecting x and y. Put this value of k here, we get an equation connecting x and y which is y is equal to 4x. So this is the answer of question number part 1. Now in part 2 you are asked to draw the graph of y is equal to x. To draw the graph of y is equal to x, we will use this relation in part 2. To draw the graph we need 2 lines. Direct proportion is the graph of direct proportion is a straight line, so we need 2 values. One of a set of values is given, x equal to 5, y is equal to 20. We need another point, but these values are bigger values. We can put the value of x is equal to 0 here. Then x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. We can take any other value which is close to the origin. X is equal to 1, when x is equal to 1, y is equal to 4, or when x is equal to 2, y is equal to 8. You can take any value, but one value should be 0, 1, which is easy to plot. Now we will take a graph, and on that graph we will plot these 2 values, and we will join these 2 points to get a straight line. This one. This is your x-axis This is your y-axis. On this x-axis, 1, 2, 2 square is equal to 1, and this is 2, and this is 8 on y-axis. You can take it as 2, 4, 6, 8. On y-axis, each 5 small square is equal to 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, and on x-axis, each 10 small square is equal to 1. So when x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. This is the point, origin. When x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. And when x is equal to 2, the value of y is 8. It is this point. You will mark a point here, and now you will join these two points to get the graph of this y against x. You can take any value. You can take x is equal to 1, then y will be equal to 4. You can take x is equal to 2, then y is equal to 8. When x is equal to 1, it will be this point, and y is equal to 4. 2, 4, this point. You will place a dot at this point, and you will draw this, join these two points to get the line. So your graph is your choice. Now let us look at question number 11. In this question, it is given that z is directly proportional to y. Now letters are changed. On the left hand side there is z, and on the right hand side there is y. And the values of z and y are given. We are asked to find an equation connecting y and z. So this is very simple, because it is given that z is directly proportional to y. Then we can write this relation in algebraic form as z is equal to ky, which is our equation number 1. Now we will put these values of v, y and z in equation number 1, and solving this we will get the value of k. The value of k is equal to 8. We will put this value of k in equation number 1 to get the required answer of part 1. Z is equal to 8y is the required equation connecting y and z. Z and y, or y and z. So this is part 1, which is simple as this we have done in the previous question. Now to draw the graph, we will use this relation z is equal to 8y, and we will find 2 points on this line. When y is equal to 0, z is equal to 0, and when y is equal to 1, z is equal to 8. You can take any other value which is nearer to the origin. You can take y is equal to 2 and z is equal to 16. You will get the value of z is equal to 16, but it is better to take one point as 0, 0, another point 1, 8, or 2, whatever you want to take the second point. Now to draw the graph, because there are two quantities, one is z and other is y. On x-axis we will take y, and on y-axis we will take z. Now our quantities are not x and y, so we will label x-axis. The horizontal line is always x-axis, and vertical line is always y-axis. But on y-axis we will plot the independent variable, because when we put the value of y, we get the value of z. The value of z is dependent on y. With the increase or decrease of value of y, the value of z increases or decreases. So the independent variable on horizontal and dependent variable on vertical axis. When y is 0, z is 0, y 0, z 0, and when y is 1, z is 8. When y is 1, z is 8. So these are the 2 points. We will join these 2 points with scale to get a line, and we will produce it towards this side. So this is the graph of this part. This is question number 11. This is question number 12. In this question, again the statement is that net couple of quantities when letters are being changed. So the rest of the work will be same. Net force F Newton needed to push a block along a horizontal surface is directly proportional to the mass m kilogram. So F is directly proportional to m, and these values of m and 49 F are given. You are asked to find an equation connecting F and m. So that is very simple. You will write a relation between F and m first in terms of k. First part, because it is given that F is directly proportional to m, then we will write F is equal to Km. Now we will put these values of F and m in this equation number 1. F is 49, m is 5. From here we get the value of K, which is 49 over 5, or you can write it as 9.5, dividing the 49 by 5. So we will put this value of K in this equation number 1, and we get a relation F is equal to 9.8 m, which is the solution of part 1. Now in second part we are asked to find the value of F when m is equal to 4. This is same as we have done in question number 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8. So put m is equal to 14, because it is given that find the value of F when m is equal to 14. So we will put m is equal to 14 in this relation. F is equal to 9.8 multiplied by 14, and this will give you 137.2. So this is the answer of part 2. In part 3 you are asked to calculate the value of mass when F is 215.6. Now in this case the value of F is given. So we will put this value of F in equation number 2. 215.6 is equal to 9.8 m. Here we are asked to find the value of m in part 3. So we will divide 215.6 by 9.8, and dividing these two values we will get m is equal to 22. This is same as we have done in question number 3, 4 and other questions. Now the last part is to draw the graph. To draw the graph we will use this relation F is equal to 9.8 m. When m is equal to 0, F is equal to 0. When we put m is equal to 0 here, we will get the value of F is equal to 0. And for the second value, when m is equal to 1, F is equal to 9.8. So we will use these two values to draw the graph. So this is the graph. Take a graph, draw two axes, because there are two quantities m and f. So draw one line and label it as m, and other line which is along y-axis and label it as f. So when m is 0, f is 0 is this point. When m is 1, f is 9.8. So we will join these two points to get the straight line and produce it on the other side. You can label this as 2, 4, 6, 8 and this is 10. One line before 10 is 9.8, because 5 small scale is equal to 2. So each small scale will be equal to 0.2, 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8 and 0.4, sorry. This is 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. So this is 9.8. So this is the way of doing the questions of direct proportion and plotting the graph of two quantities. Question number 13, 14 are same as this question number 12. So you can do it by in your homework. Hope this exercise is clear to you, because you have not sent me any difficulty. That's why I thought the concept is clear to you. So this is my about me and my channel and WhatsApp and email. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.